Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, an Amish Jon rendition, if you will. Work Tough Gear Wednesday rendition, if you will. Before we get into it, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, guys, that number goes up and it goes down, and it just depends on the stat you read, the study you read. The thing that's important is this: anything over zero is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. That's all it means. You're welcome here. We're back to blue over here. We support Leo, all to the chagrin of many. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. And when we do, because we accept responsibility. And finally, if you're an addict, never quit quitting. There went old Megatron. She's kind of a fan of the Amish Jon. This is the Amish Jon. It was designed by Jon Spencer. Now, when I first get a knife, I like to kind of check it out and see what I like about the knife. And everybody knows that I'm a big handle guy. So I'm going to start the stats off with this. Let's do the handle. The overall length of the handle is about 5 3/4, 5 7/8 is probably more accurate. 5 7/8. But the inner grip here is what we need to pay attention to. It's about 4 inches and 5/16. That is a large handle. Anybody on the planet other than Andre the Giant will be able to hold this knife. That's just the fact. That inner grip is very important. And I'm going to give you a good look at the handle right here. It is the handle scales are that machine G10, right? And there's a little Scab there looking good. You can see the lanyard hole. But what I want you to see is just how that handle contours to the hand. You can see the palm swell. You can see those contours in a very, very comfortable grip. I like a fencing grip, especially when we have a knife. I believe the blade length is 10 3/4 with a 9 3/4 inch cutting edge. It's SK85. It has a 90-degree spine. It is a 1/4 inch thick. It has some nice deep fullers. The clip is actually about 4 and let's say 9/16. So 4 inches 9/16. Good large clip, great for penetration. It has a slight recurve, has a very nice choil on it. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to y'all about, or talk to you about, the palm swell is 1 inch thick. So the palm swell on this thing is going to fill your hand. Again, anyone should be able to handle this comfortably. At the widest point of the handle is about 1 1/4 inches. So overall, guys, the handle is a large handle, but it fits and it contours to the hand. And I would say even if you had small to medium hands, you should be able to grip this, and that's very, very important. Now, here's the thing. Guys see knives like this, a big knife, and the first thing a lot of folks do goes, well, I can't do anything with that. That's going to be my chopper. If you did that with this knife, that would be a major mistake, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. We opened up with some batoning. Now we're going to do batoning. We're going to do some chopping. Kurt's going to jump in and help. We're going to stab a tire. We're going to do the things like that you would do with a big knife. But as we go, just like with a lot of videos, it gets a little better, and a little better. What do I mean by that? The knife stays the same. Fit and finish, 10 out of 10. And honestly, you're not going to find anybody, and if you do, please send me a link, that bashes Work Tough Gears fit and finish. You're not going to find anybody that bashes the sharpness. Now here, guys, we're out at the studio, and I asked Kurt to kind of jump in and help me there for a couple of reasons. One, we're almost good to go, right? But there are just certain things about the studio we're still trying to set up. You can see the stump I got there. That's just laying on the ground, so it's not super secure. I had actually got the damn knife stuck like a genius, so Kirk was holding it. I batoned it out. Here's the thing. The thing about the studio is this. I had to get Kirk to help me a couple times. We're still trying to stabilize stuff. We're still trying. So bear that in mind throughout this review. Now, that's about a 3-inch limb. That is an actual piece of hardwood. For those of y'all that will remember, I did a lot of chopping on this particular piece or the other piece of it last week. Very, very, very tough piece of wood. Now, we're going to baton a lot. Why? Well, I wanted just to show you like some camp tasks, prepping some firewood. We'll get to some smaller stuff in a little bit. Overall, the handle, I found there to be no hot spots in the handle. I also found that when you're doing some chopping, doing some batoning, the knife is very, very secure in hand, right? Very secure. When we're stabbing the tire, no slippage. Now, I asked Kirk to jump in and just try some out. He is actually a big fan of this handle too. And for Kirk to like any big knife, it's special. I'm just telling you. His wheelhouse is that 5 to 6 inch range. But this one he was very, very impressed with. Now, I asked him to chop because y'all see me chop a lot. Kirk's a little more on the technique side, and you can see the knife working there, and you can see it biting very, very deep. No problems going through this. We're setting up, and again, we didn't just randomly cut this tree down. We're setting up our station right there. You see the thing. Now here, I wanted to show y'all, I've got a good fencing grip. My thumb is resting on the back. There's a slight thumb ramp back there. Even though it's a 90-degree spine, it's not uncomfortable, right? Where that thumb ramp is, it's not rounded, but it's kind of smooth and it feels good. Now right here, just some control stuff. That's what I love about a recurve, right? You can just land the knife right where you want to land the knife. Take care of what you want to take care of. I found this knife to be very, very well balanced with the balance point about a 1/2 inch above the handle. I didn't show it in this one, but I can tell you this. Now I want to show y'all this. I want to talk to y'all about this. Right here, we're getting some good 1 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/4 inch jabs. Not every tire you can stab right through. This sumbitch right here was absolutely tough, but it's biting in there, and I promise you it's biting in about 1 inch, 1.5 inches. It's biting it enough, it'll wreck your day. I promise you that. Now, we're cutting up there high. We're cutting up near the tread. So again, balance comes in. I asked Kirk again to help me out, and dude, Kirk, thank you so much. It's good to have somebody out for these situations, because I would have had to reach across the tire to cut the damn thing. All right, this way you can see the knife work, and the knife worked exceptionally well. Let's see, there's no edge damage. Good shot there, Scab. Editing 101. Right there, y'all seen that quick, fast swing. Now, yeah, somebody's gonna say, well, it's thin. Well, here's the deal. You don't always have to chop 5-inch diameter stuff to be impressive. See, a lot of times with a knife, for me, a big knife like this for me, if I'm out in the woods, whether it's the studio or the swamp or whatever, I like to have a knife about this size to clear stuff from the waist up. Just some good quick chops, get it out of the way, make some punji stick spears for the neighborhood kids, get me a walking stick. And again, you can see the control, just quick, fast, and I believe I've got the fencing grip there. I found this knife to be very, very, very handy, just like that. And again, it's super sharp. When I say handy, I don't have to put something down. I'm not left-handed, as you can tell, but I don't have to readjust. The knife's light. The knife is light. It is fast. The handle is very, very conducive. And you say, Scab, I know I've mentioned the handle a bunch. I'll mention the handle every time I do a review or demonstration with this knife. This is one of the most well thought out, best handles I have ever handled in my life. You can put me on record as saying that. Have no qualm saying that. And here we're using the knife as a machete. That's what I wanted to do. Now right here, this is that high pressure air hose. We popped the trunk, some good quick pops. What does that prove? Well, does it prove sharpness? No. As long as your edge geometry is right on something like that, it'll do it. What I did want to show is this. The overall control and sharpness of the knife, right? And of course, I did that right off camera. That a boy, genius. My bad on that. The knife had no problem cutting this 2-inch ratchet strap, and there we go again. Well, you can see it better there. One more time, Scab. Let's see. There we go. Oh, 3 for 3 right off the damn. No, there we go. A little bit of a saw, but here's the thing. When you get that 10-inch blade like that, being able to control it, and right back here going, I wanted to kind of show a little bit of feather sticking, a little bit right there. Very, very easy to control. And you can see it making, and then popping. See it making, and then some long sweeping strokes right there. Very, very slicey knife. Very, very capable knife. I love a recurve. I'm going to give y'all some more dimensions. Let me give you the width of the blade at the recurve itself. At the recurve, it's 2 1/4 inches. All right. Now, below the recurve, it's 2 1/8. So you've got a good wide blade there. at the beginning of the clip point, and this one, because it goes all the way down to 0, obviously, so let's do at the clip point. At the clip, where you go from the spine goes straight to curved, is actually about 2 3/8, no, 2.5. So there's some really, really good width. Do a lot of slicing with this. I mentioned the 90-degree spine. That's important for me. If we're going to have a field knife, if we're going to have a camp knife, now right here, we're actually cutting into that high-pressure sandblast hose. It's 1 inch steel belted sandblast hose. The knife handled it very well. And you say, Scab, listen, if you've ever used a big knife compared to a shorter blade, we all know that a shorter blade's might handle a little better, right? But when you use that longer blade to be able to cut like this one cuts. Now what I wanted to do there is penetrate, make a quick gash, and then just do kind of long saw cuts. That is purpose right there. And then we're going to get it down in that recurve like we're doing there. Now we're rolling. Once this knife got in there, once we got into the meat of the knife had no damn problem at all. And again, that is steel belted sandblast hose. Let me stop right here and just say a couple things. One, Joe Bidrow, JB Outdoors. Shout out to him. Joe's an awesome brother in the blade, an awesome guy. He works his ass off, guys. JB Outdoors and more. Check him out. Donnie B all day. My brother from another mother. Check him out. Steel Forged and Fire Sword and Knife. Joseph. Awesome dude, man. Check him out. My boy Grugsy. Legion Tactical. And then Pistol Pete. Check him out. Angry Dracula. Charles Jones, the Redneck Nerd. And let me throw some Work Tough Gear guys out there for you, okay? These guys are really, really good. Eric Alder, Alex, Aurora Borealis, 2 great guys. Check those channels out, guys. For a lot, I was going to say better reviews. Well, and that's true. Those guys are a lot better reviewers than I are. Check those out. Now, back to the knife. Here, you'll see us go back to the ratchet strap a ton. Again, I like doing this. I'd like doing this for my hunters, my fishermen. The ratchet strap to me kind of symbolizes a hide. The knife had 0 problems. The tip's very, very sharp, very, very pointy. We've got that long clip. So you're going to get some good deep penetration. Like I said too, with that balance point being about a 1/2 inch above the handle, it's perfect for whatever you need it for. All right, it's well balanced. Man, it feels good in hand. I can't really speak enough about the handle because I like it. Now here, this is that 2 inch high pressure air hose. We stabbed it first. We run the tip all the way over to the other side of that hose. So we're putting constant pressure on that tip, and then we just slice it in twain, son. This is just a straight up badass knife. And you can see right here, I love doing this. Just some quick pull cuts. Handles very well. Y'all see a lot in these 13, 14 minutes, whatever it is. You see me go into the fencing grip a lot. This thing is supremely comfortable in that grip, and it's a beautiful design. Again, best handle I've ever demonstrated. Obviously, it'll strike a ferro rod. It is SK85, so it's a high carbon steel that's easy to sharpen. Kept a pretty damn good edge on it for all the stuff we did. Here's the thing, guys. Tomorrow's Turkey Day. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope everyone has a great one. Listen, I love y'all. God knows I do. God bless y'all. I hope he does. I'm Scab. You're not. I'm gone, son.